everybody, welcome back to Movie Reviews. This time I'm looking at Kickboxer from 1989 with Jean-Claude Van Damme. This is basically one of my favourite Jean-Claude Van Damme films of all time. Because the story itself of this film is quite interesting because it's a revenge story, basically with any other films, which has that sort of interesting type of feel, if you know what I mean, or type of style. Basically, how the story goes is Kurt Sloan, played by Van Damme, and his brother Eric go to Thailand to compete into boxing, very much, or kickboxing really, and obviously they decide to go down there because they think Thailand's full of the best fighters. And obviously with Eric Sloan, he made his match with someone called Tong Po, played by Michelle, who I can't remember the name Michelle, but the first name is Michelle, and Michelle, who plays Tong Po, is actually a very good friend of Jean-Claude Van Damme, because he was his personal trainer and were good friends, and they went to America together to seek acting careers. And obviously, seeing him and Jean-Claude Van Damme fight together is actually quite good. And obviously, moving back to the story, of course, Tong Po paralyzes Eric. Doesn't kill him, but paralyzes him. And Kurt takes revenge on him by seeking a master of kickboxer and obviously train him to make him more stronger to fight Tong Po. That's really is. It's sort of like a hard version of Karate Kid, very much, in a way. Like it's an adult Karate Kid that's sort of more threatening, more brutal, and a bit more dangerous, really, but it's just how it is. This was, I believe, one of the last films that Canon Films released in the United States. Well, I remember, if I'm right, because in '89 they released Cyborg, and obviously they released this one in the States as well, and then afterwards Canon just folded like that, or dissolved. I don't know exactly how we got it in the UK, but I think it was somewhere else, I'm not too sure. It did arrive on video thanks to Entertainment Film Distributors, which was released in the 90s, I think, 1991, because I remember owning the VHS of this, and then obviously a lot of years ago, I think a couple of years ago, my mum actually got a 4-disc. It's a 4-disc set from my Prism Leisure, and it was based on genres. This genre was based on martial arts, and it contained Kickboxer, but it also contained one of Jean-Claude's earliest films, which was Black Eagle, which is totally dire, and then Fires in the Amazon, and I think Night Stalkers was another one. And obviously she wanted to watch Kickboxer, she wanted to watch with me and see what you think of it, and I really enjoyed it. Obviously, it is. People consider this to be one of his best films. Certainly, in my opinion, it is. I mean, there's other films like Universal Soldier, Sudden Death, Nowhere to Run, and maybe some other ones like people remember, like Bloodsport. The music itself it's alright. It's not bad. It's got that 80s type of cheap, low budget 80s type of flavour to it, but it suits the movie. It does its job. It's not bad. There's also some songs appear in it. I can't remember who, but I think they're quite memorable anyway. Now, one thing to mention is, which people tend to remember, of course, is Jean-Claude's dancing. And obviously, this became like a very sort of famous thing, one of the popular things about this movie. And obviously, he actually revisited the dance moves on the Conan O'Brien show. And obviously, because he mentioned Kickboxer, he mentioned his dancing, and obviously they brought back the original music, of course, and he danced to it in front of a studio audience, which I find quite hilarious, and which is quite good and quite funny. You know, like talk show hosts do tend to do some certain things, like Graham Norton actually, asked Will Smith to perform the theme to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, really, and yeah, it's all little things like that, that makes them popular, and like what people would love. you know. And obviously, when obviously he was on the Conan O'Brien show, he was promoting a sequel which he did star in called Kickboxer Vengeance, in which he played the master to a younger guy. I can't remember what. Now I never seen this film, but when I first knew about the sequel to Kickboxer, I was a bit unsure about it. It's direct to DVD. It's got Jean-Claude Van Damme, of course, but it doesn't really sit right very much to me. Obviously, there were some other films that came out with, was it Mark Dacascos or something? Played David Sloan, of course, and there was about, oh, how many? There was about 4 sequels of that. My goodness. Um, Obviously, Michelle actually came back to do the second one, actually, and then got replaced by another actor with terrible makeup. Well, not so much, but I never seen these films. I've sort of seen them around, mainly Kickboxer 3 on DVD somewhere, but I never picked these up. I never seen these. I never really got into them. I only just knew about the original '89 classic, in which so it's good. So anyway, Kickboxer is personally a Van Damme film which you might go and watch. I do enjoy it. His action abilities are not very. Alright, they're okay on this one. It's not bad. You know, I personally enjoy it because it's a little bit of nostalgia. I own this on video, but I never seen it until when the Prison Leisure 4 film DVD pack came. And obviously, I've kept it in my collection for a lot of years now, and I still remember watching it and being very impressed with it. It's one of my favourites of this actor's sort of filmography, very much. It could be yours too. It could be your worst. Who knows? But anyway, that's my short little review of Kickboxer from 1989, and I'll see you for the next video, and I'll see you soon.